bar graph compares the population distribution by age group. Overall, it is the ages 45 to 64 who get the highest number of population. In one hand, the least number of population is those ages 0 to 14 with only 22%. On the other hand, second in rank are those ages 65 years old and above with 75%.
The image gives information about population distribution by age group. X-axis talk about age group that is starting from 0 to 65 plus, whereas Y-axis talk about population in millions that is starting from 0 to 80 millions. Highest value is showing between 85 to 64, which is roughly around above 80 millions, whereas the second highest value is showing between 65 plus, which is roughly around 70 millions. However, the lowest value is showing between 0 to 14, which is roughly around 25 millions. Overall, the image is about population distribution by age group.
This bar chart gives information about population distribution by age group. X line gives information about year, Y line gives information about millions. Moreover, I have told about 0 to 14, 15 to 24, and 65 plus. In addition, the maximum age group in 45 to 64, that is above in 80 million, is moreover followed by 15 to 24 and 25 to 44, and the minimum age group in 0 to 14, that is less than 20 millions. Overall, the image gives information about population distribution by age group.
The image provide give information about population distribution by age group. In the image can see that age group which is 0 to 14 to 65 plus and population in millions which is 0 to 80 million. Overall the picture can see that the highest population which is 25 to 45 to 65 80 million and the lowest population which is 0 to 14 20 million, and the center part can see that 25 to 44 which is 30 million. Thank you.
This graph picture gives information about population distribution. The comparison between population distribution by age group and population in millions shows a very slight difference. The most important is 0, 10, and 20, and the least important is 60, 70, and 80. The comparison between age group and population in millions shows a very slight difference. On the one hand side, there is 0 to 14, 15 to 24, and 25 to 44, and on the other hand side, there is 10, 20, 30, and 40. The first point on x-axis is 0 and the last point on x-axis is 80. The first point on y-axis is 0 to 14 and the last point on y-axis is 65 plus age. Overall, the picture is
This bar chart gives information about population distribution by age group. X line gives information about age group. Y line gives information about millions. Moreover, I have told about 0 to 14 and 65 plus. In addition, the maximum age group in 45 to 64, that is above in 80 million, is moreover followed by 25 to 44 and 15 to 24, and the minimum age group in 0 to 14, that is less than 20 millions. To conclude, the image gives information about population distribution by age group.
The bar chart represents the population distribution by different age group, while the age group is shown in the x-axis of the bar chart, which ranges from 0 to 14, 15 to 24, 25 to 44, 45 to 64, and 65 plus. While in the y-axis, there are the population in millions, ranging from 0 to 80 in the interval of 10 millions. While the maximum population is of 80 millions for the age group of 45 to 64, and the lowest is for the population of 0 to 14 age group, which is only 20 millions. In conclusion, this chart represents the clear representation of how the population has been distributed over the different age group in a clear and proper manner.
The bar graph compares the population distribution by age group. Overall, between ages 45 to 64 is the most number of population by age group. In one hand, the second in rank in the population is ages 65 and above with 70%. On the other hand, ages 0 to 14 is the lowest number of population with only 22%.
The given picture gives information about the population distribution by age group, and x-axis talk about some age group which is 14 to 65 plus years of people, and the y-axis talk about some population in millions. It is 0 to 80%. It can be observed that the 45 to 64 years people are the highest position, it approximately 80%, and the second highest one is 65 plus years people, it approximately 70%, and the lowest position is 14 years people, it approximately 22. And overall the picture gives information about the population distribution by age.
This bar graph gives an information about the population distributions by age group. From this bar graph, I can say that the x-axis represents the different age group and the y-axis represents populations in millions. In that, the highest value is a 45 to 64 age group, which is indicated by 80 millions. Now, the second highest value is a 65 above age group, which is indicated by 70 millions. If we talk about the lowest value, that is a 0 to 14 age group, which is indicated by near to 20 millions. In conclusion, this image is very informative and knowledgeable.
The image provided is bar graph that gives us information about population distribution by age group. The x-axis represent population in millions from 0 to 60 with a gap of 10, and the y-axis shows about age group from 0 to 65 plus, and the highest value is in the age group of 45 to 64, which is about 80 million, and the lowest one is in the age group of 0 to 14, which is about only 20 millions, and other are 65 plus, which is about 70%, and age group from 25 to 44 is about 30 million. Overall, it is about population distribution by age group.
The given bar chart gives information on population distribution by age group. This shows that the age group 45 to 64 has the highest amount of the population, which is around the 80, followed by 65 and above, which is around the 70. After that, we have the 15 to 24 age group, which is the number for each 40. 25 and 44 comes next, which is around the 30, and 0 to 14 has the lowest amount of the population distribution, which is around the 20. In conclusion, this shows that the 45 to 64 has the highest amount of the population distribution.
The given picture is a bar chart that gives information about population distribution. The data divided into a group and million. It is evident that people from 45 to 64 had the highest figure, which is around 80 million. However, people from 0 to 14 had the lowest figure, which is around 20 million. We can also see that people from 15 to 24 has the highest figure than the people from 25 to 44. In conclusion, this is a bar chart that gives information about population distribution.